All right. Welcome. Paul here. That's right. I figured I would get on live here to to show some toys. Yeah, I'm doing my first ever live retro TV toy box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show some toys. They're retro, they're TV themed, and some of them are reproductions. Some of them are actual vintage 1970s toys. Oh yeah, and you're going to love them. You're going to like them. You might think they're okay. All right, maybe they're interesting. I don't know. But let's get to it. I'm going to start with this little one. This is obviously a reproduction. Remember this group called the Beatles? Oh, they had several hits. Yeah. Anyway, I picked up this little. It's an actual metal lunchbox. Let me get a good look at it. There, you can here, and it's a replica of their lunchbox that came out. I didn't do too much research on this one before I came on, so I couldn't tell you what year the real one came out. But I bought this in, I think, 2012. Yeah, it says it right on the tag, which I left on there. I think I got this at CVS Pharmacy. I was in the checkout, and they had these near the checkout. They had a bunch of them in a little, impulse buying area, and I saw them, and I'm like, oh. And the tag says $1.99, but I believe they were on sale for $1. So I bought a bunch of these, and they also had a yellow submarine version. It's a yellow one. I bought some of those too. Maybe I'll show those in another video. But I just thought it was kind of neat. Yeah, metal lunchbox. Yeah, there's nothing in it. You're not going to carry much in that. Maybe some guitar picks. Maybe, I don't know, a sandwich cookie instead of a sandwich. But anyway, that's that. All right, next one. Next one's also a reprint, or a reissue, a reproduction, but at least it's full size. That's right, folks. The $6 Million Man metal lunchbox. Yeah. Now, when I was a kid, I was a huge $6 Million Man fan. I watched it every week. I think it was on Friday night. I remember this one episode. It was a two-parter. And at the end of the first part, Steve Austin is stuck on an island with some guy. But they had a plane, but the plane was broke, so he went to repair it. And he gets up under the plane, does some weldings, and there's a big flash. And he comes out and he says, "There's only one problem. I can't see." And then they cut it. It said, "To be continued." I was like in 6th or 7th grade. I was devastated. I remember all the kids at school, we talked about that. We were like, what is he going to do? Huh? How's he going to get out of this one? But of course, they wrapped it up like they always do, very nicely, the next week. And we all let out a sigh of relief. But anyway, I never had the lunchbox as a kid. So, of course, Biff Bang Pow is a company that did a lot of reproductions of toys. And this came out a few years ago. I think, I know, you can hear there's stuff in it. And I'll show you what it came with because it's really cool. This came out in 2013. I picked this little bad boy up. Real metal, too. Now, the actual one was released in 1974. And it was released also in Canada. They had a plastic version, but it looked exactly the same, only in the Canadian version, right down here, there's a Canadian flag, and it's plastic. Those are on the real ones. This isn't the original. This is the reproduction. But what this came with from Biff Bam Pow, and yeah, I still got, see, it was a convention exclusive. I don't know what that meant because I never went to a convention, but I was still able to buy it. So yeah, I'll take that sticker off there. But anyway, here's what came with it. And this was almost as cool. And I know I should have gotten batteries for this before I showed it to you. But check out this keychain, $6 Million Man keychain. You press that button, and you know darn well what you're going to hear. Yeah, the bionic sound. The batteries wore out because I used it so much, and I've had it for, 12 years. I need to get more batteries because that's pretty neat. It also came with this. It did not come with a reproduction thermos. Yeah, I got to admit I was a little upset about that. But it came with this coaster set. They have these lovely coasters. A cork on one side, and then the other side, a little retro 70s looking $6 Million Man, logo, emblem, symbol, drawing, illustration, whatever you want to call it. And these say 2012, but they came out when this reproduction did. And finally, the last thing, they do have a drinking thing in here, or a drinking apparatus, but it's a mug. I don't know if I've ever even taken this out of here. It's a $6 Million Man thermal mug. That's right. You want to drink like the $6 million man, you can. Even the bottom says it. It's all licensed. It's all reproduction because they didn't have these in the 70s. That's still kind of weird, but I bet it keeps stuff cold. And I see there's another one of the keychains in here. I bet this one, listen, it's trying to work, but no. Yeah, I need to get batteries for those because I've been pushing that out, doing things around the house. You lift something, and every time you lift something, you press your little bionic sound. It's kind of neat. All right, those are reproductions. I have one more reproduction to show you before we get to the good vintage stuff. Let me put all this stuff back in its tin. Yeah, I'll clean that up later. All right. This is also a reproduction, but it's an interesting one. That's right. That's right. I've got a Marcia Brady doll, and I'm not scared to admit it. Action figure. Figure. Doesn't do much action. Actually, she has a football. Let me tell you a little bit about this. This company is Mego. Mego was like the king of the action figures back in the 70s, as I'm sure you probably know. I remember one time at a flea market, I got a Mego full-size head of Cher that you could do the hair yourself. It was, it was obviously made for girls or whoever wanted to do hair. I'm not going to judge. But anyway, I bought it to resell it, and I made a lot of money off that too. But Mego made a lot of stuff, is what I'm saying. A lot of action figures. They were the big action figure people back then, and the company started in 1954 by a man named David Abrams. Why was the company called Mego? You're never going to believe it. Do you know? Seriously. Yeah, it was called Mego because he had this son named Howard, and every time they went somewhere, he'd say Mego too. So his dad starts this action figure company and calls the company Mego because of that. Oh, yeah. That's a true story. All right, anyway, back to the Bradys. Mego didn't have Brady Bunch figures, I believe, in the 70s. But in 2002, they came out with a full set of the family, and they launched it, and it had really colorful packaging, and I guess they sold pretty well. So they decided to do it again in 2000 and what year is this? I think it's 2018. Yeah, 2018. They came out with this. And here's the weird part. This is Marcia, right? Look at the back. You see that? Why isn't my thing focused? All right. Anyway, those are the three figures they came out with in 2018, the reproductions. Marcia, Alice, and Greg. And I was thinking, what are three to pick? If you're going to pick a Brady or three Bradys, I guess they wanted to limit it to just three because they didn't think they could sell all of them. But these are the three they picked. And I'm thinking maybe it was Alice because maybe Alice didn't come out with the 2002 versions. I'm not going to pretend to know more than I do. I don't know a lot about the 2002 set, only that it was really colorful and it did sell pretty good. So anyway, this is it. And you're going to love this. You see this little hologram sticker? I don't know if you can see that. Yes, it's the limited edition. We're talking, this is number 2850 out of 10,000. 2850 out of 10,000. That's not real great. I know enough about collections to know that if something is a limited edition, limited to 10,000 isn't really that limited. You see what I'm saying? If they limit it to 1,000, maybe 5,000. But when you limit something to 10,000, that's like the Ford LTD. There was a car that used to be around called the Ford LTD, the Ford Limited. What did they limit it to? As many as they could sell. And that's pretty much this too. So anyway, Marcia Brady, and now they did do this cool because look at her nose. Yes, she's got a Band-Aid on her nose. And how much do you think she looks like Marcia Brady, though, huh? Not much, not too much. But she does have the Band-Aid on her nose, and even funnier, it comes with the football. And you can take the little football and throw it at her nose. Is that something you'd do? I would. All right. Who do you think was the most popular Brady? Let's go with the kids. All right, forget Mom, Dad, Alice, Sam, and George Glass, and the big man on campus, whatever his name was. But who do you think was the least favorite kid? I was thinking of this earlier because when you say the most popular Brady kid, you probably always think of Marcia. right? Probably. And there's the difference between most popular and most likable and most funny. You know, you got all those characters, but I'm saying just most popular. It's probably Marcia. But who was the least popular, huh? All right. Hey, Anthony says, hey, if anybody wants any questions or anything, say you can just say hey to me, and I'll try to answer what I can. But anyway, who was the least popular Brady? Peter. I don't know. Peter was funny. Who said Peter? Anthony says Peter. Peter to me was funny. He had this natural funny delivery. Pork chops and applesauce. I don't think any other kid could have made that funny. Can you imagine Greg trying to do that? Would have been sad. Mm-hmm. But I'm going with either Bobby or Cindy. Yeah, because they're the youngest. I was the youngest out of 3 kids in my family. I have got 2 older sisters. But I think it was either Bobby or Cindy was the least popular. It could be a poll. If you're watching this later on a rerun, you can still put it in the comments, and we'll get to it. Anyway, I think I told you all I know about this Marcia Brady. Again, it was done in 2018, and you can get Alice, Greg, or Marcia. And as you know, the dolls never really look like them. Not 100%. Oh, and another thing I noticed I wanted to bring up, because I watched a clip of her getting hit by the football today, just so I could talk a little more about it. I don't know why they put her. They definitely put her in this 70s looking outfit. See, she's got the mini skirt, and then she's got the mod 70s designed blouse or shirt, but it's not what she was wearing when she got hit by the football. And I know what you're saying. She must have already been hit, though, because she's got the Band-Aid on her nose, right? Which is true, but I watched the rest of the episode, and I didn't see her wearing this particular outfit. Somebody wants to know if Alice comes with pork chops or applesauce. Good one. Pork chops, applesauce. You know how many times as a kid we ran around saying that? We thought we were funny. We weren't. Maybe we were, I don't know. Anyway, that's Marcia Brady. And if you want one of these, by the way, and I didn't give you I don't know the prices of the other ones on resale, but you can still get these on eBay pretty cheap. This one in its original package, like this one is, you can get for like 15 bucks. Maybe cheaper, maybe a little bit more. But same with the Alice and the Greg. About 15 bucks if you want one. They're, how tall are they? Oh, one more thing I did want to point out. I don't know if you can see it, but she's saying something right here. Can you see what she's saying? Let me see if I can turn it right. Yeah. She's saying hi and bye, small fry. Did she ever say that in the show? They couldn't have her saying, oh, my nose, or shut up, Jan, or something she said. I don't know why they put hi and bye, small fry. Someone can remember her saying that in the actual TV show. I want to know about it, because that's definitely not a catchphrase. Maybe she said it. I don't know. Maybe she didn't. All right, I got 2 more to show you, and then I'm out of here. These next 2 are actual vintage. This one is from 1978. And before you jump on me about, you said TV toy box, Dolly Parton had her own TV show a couple of times. As a matter of fact, once in the 70s. I've done a video about people you probably didn't know had variety TV shows in the 70s. You can probably find it on my list or whatever. But yeah, she had one. Yeah, and it was decent. It was what you'd expect. Sing a little song, do a little comedy, try this, try a little that. It didn't last real long, and then I think she had another one. Man, I used to know. It was like the late 80s or maybe early 90s, probably in the 80s. But anyway, here she is, Dolly Parton. This is made by the company Goldberger, and this came out in 1978. Yes. 1987, was that her show, or was that the doll? No, not the doll. I know the doll came out in 1978. So if she had a show in 1987, I surely didn't know that was the year. But anyway, there she is. And yeah, this came out in 1978. So it's a square. And this one's 12 inches tall. This is a bit bigger. You can see it's pretty much anatomically correct there in every way. She literally looks like herself there. Well, the face, again, they never get the faces right. On the last one I'm going to show you, they've got the face close, but yeah, it doesn't really look like her. This one is in pretty good condition. I got this one for my wife, not for me, but I got it for her for Christmas, I think a couple of years ago. And the box still has real good color on it. And it still has and original price tag on it. I don't know if that was the original price. It's $15 even. Who sells stuff for $15 even? Huh? It'd be $14.99, $15.88, something like that. Remember at Kmart, every price ended in 88? It just hit me, that memory. I don't know why they did that, but it seemed like that's how it was. All right, anyway, let me see. Not recommended, recommended for children over 3 years old. Yeah, hey, if you're a 2-year-old, you're not playing with Dolly Parton. Not in 1978, you're not. Anyway, that's it. The 12-inch posable Dolly Parton doll by Goldenberger. Now, you can still pick these up also on eBay. In the package, you're looking at about $100. Yeah, I'm not taking this one out. My wife says that it looks like somebody took her out and messed with her hair, but I don't know. To me, that might be how the hair came with it. Huh? Maybe. I don't know. All right, last one. Oh, this is a classic. This is a classic. 1976. You know him, you love him, it wouldn't be Happy Days without him. That's right, folks. I've got an original Fonzie. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Blue Light Special. I forgot about that. Thank you, Matthew. Oh, man, those Blue Light Specials at Kmart were hilarious. You'd be in the store, and you'd hear them over the loudspeaker. We're having a Blue Light Special on Dolly Parton dolls. And then you'd look over all the aisles, and they'd have this blue blinking light, and that's where the special was. And from what I remember, they had pretty good deals with the Blue Light Special. But, I don't know. It was a weird time, you know. We'd go to Kmart hoping there'd be a Blue Light Special. And then when there was, it would be something none of us kids would want, you know, like the salt and pepper shaker set. But we buy it because it was like 15 cents. To my mom for Christmas or something. Anyway, where was I? Oh, I'm sorry, Fonzie. Yeah, Fonzie's here. This is Fonzie, and I'm going to tell you right away because I know you're noticing these are not his original pants. Yeah, I got this, and it didn't come with his original pants. Now, when you pull his pants down, he's wearing a thong. He's not naked, so that's good. You probably don't want to see that. But these pants, they look like, you know, something from the Revolutionary War or something, where, you know, these knickers or these capri pants, whatever he's wearing. So don't worry about the pants. Also, I kind of fudged the white shirt, but his boots, still got them both, they're real, and also his leather jacket, which is important. And it has the Mego, this was also made by Mego. It has the Mego tag in it, but it's really ripped up. But let me tell you a little bit about the Fonzie doll. Why won't Fonzie focus? It's trying to look at me and focus. Anyway, you think it looks like him? I'm trying not to shake it. Who does it look like? Looks like John Bender from the Breakfast Club or something, doesn't he? Demented and sad, but social. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, it's not a bad toy. And I'm going to tell you, I researched a little bit about this one so I could talk about it more. The Fonzie doll came out in 1976. I think they weren't sold until 77, but it says 76 all over him. On the back of his neck, it says 76 Paramount, and also on the small of his back. It also says 1976. Also made by Mego. Yeah, they were the kings of the action figure. And Mego in 1976, 77, they made 4 Happy Days dolls. And it was the 4 guys. It was Fonzie, Richie, Potsy, and Ralph Malph. They also had Ralph Malph Jalopy. I don't know if you could find some of this stuff anywhere. They had Fonzie's Garage. Anybody know anybody that has that? Yes, he does do life insurance commercials. Okay. Anyway, you know, Fonzie, okay, they have Fonzie's Garage. I've totally lost my thought. They're Fonzie's Garage. And I was looking at the pictures of it today. It looked pretty cool, but as a kid, you know, I don't remember that. I would have been about the age that they were targeting with that. And I would have liked it, but I don't remember it. I don't remember anybody having it. I do remember a few people having this. And Mego, boy, that Richie doll, if I can get you a picture of that, or you want to look it up, it didn't look anything like Richie Cunningham. And that one didn't sell very much because of that. And then the Potsy and Ralph doll. Who's going to buy a Potsy Weber doll? Action figure. Whatever you call it, Potsy ain't happening. So anyway, yeah, the big seller, of course, was Fonzie. And this wasn't, you know, just a... they didn't just slap a head onto one of their pre-existing action figures. They did a lot of stuff with this. I'm going to show you. First of all, look at his hand. won't this? I wish it would focus better, but his hand actually has a thumb you can turn up. You see that? How cool is that? So, okay, see, none of the other action figures on the Mego line could do that because none of them else had the signature thumbs up. You know, that was a Fonzie thing, of course. But it gets better. Oh, yeah. All right, you put his hands in the air. You flip both thumbs up. And then, what have you got? Well, on the back of his shirt and jacket, he looks more like William Devane than Henry Winkler. That's what Matthew Blacker said. You know what? You might be right. Anyway, I just showed it to you. Look what he has on his back. No other action figure had this. This is how we know Mego really put something into this. Because watch what happens. You want Fonzie to tell you you're cool? You push this lever down. Hey, Fonzie, Richard just started dating one of the mariachi twins. And then you pull that down, and you really kind of have to pre-position his hands to make it look like he's giving a thumbs up. This thumb looks like he's hitchhiking. Hang on. They both do. All right, here we go. Hey, there we go. Hey, Fonzie, here comes Pinky Tuscadero. Hey. Anyway, so that was neat. I mean, that was good of Mego. They really put some thought into it by putting the little lever there to make sure that he could do a cool thumbs up when he had to. All right, Fonzie? Yeah, it kind of looks like him. There's something about the nose that doesn't quite look right. I don't know. Anyway, that's original 1976 Fonzie by Mego. Hey. 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 All right. That's all I got for now. I got some more that I'll probably show in the future, but I think I've talked long enough. That is my Retro Live TV toy box. As I said, if you're not watching live, no problem. If you're watching it on a replay, rerun, rewind, redone, reproduced, however, go ahead and tell me, did anybody have any of these? Well, you probably didn't have this one. I don't blame you. It's Marsha Brady. It only came out 7 years ago. There's other Brady Bunch toys, I think, that came out earlier. I got a Brady Bunch game in there. I bought it at the thrift store. But anyway, did you have any of the Happy Days or the $6 Million Man stuff? Please let me know about it and tune in again. I've got some good videos coming up this week, Monday and Tuesday. I'm going to do another sitcom TV audit character. We'll talk about that on Monday. And then on Tuesday, I have got the worst episode ever of a classic. Oh, it is one people have been asking for. Yeah, he did say, hey. You know, I wonder if Mego... No, the doll doesn't say hey, but of course he did. But I wonder if Mego ever even considered putting a little, remember they had the pull strings, and then making him say hey. But they got it right. They couldn't do a signature sound. They had a signature move. Watch, hey, right into the camera there. Hey, hey, hey. Could have made it move a little more than that. I mean, it kind of looks like a disabled Fonzie a little bit. Maybe like he injured his shoulder lifting up, his motorcycle onto the lift at the garage or something. But it works. All right. Anyway, that's going to be it. Thank you so much for watching the live feed, and maybe I'll do another one sometime soon. Anybody got any last minute questions? The thumbs fold over to the right. Yes, they do. Not to the left. But you can put the thumbs all the way down if you want, and then it looks like he's ready to grab his motorcycle. Because they did, I don't think I mentioned it, but they had a motorcycle for Fonzie too. Oh, that thing's worth a lot now. A whole lot. All right. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I guess I'll go. I'm not going to go, though, to play with my dolls. I'm going to go to, was there a shortcake figure? There was a strawberry shortcake figure. No, yeah, shortcake, yeah, I get you. Aaron Moore and Joni, I don't think so. They were set to release a few more. As I said, this came out in 77. Then they were going to release some more in 78. And they said they had 3 characters planned, but they never told which 3. I would assume it probably was the mom, dad, and Joni. Don't you think so? Mrs. C, Mr. C, and Joni. I don't know who else the other 3 could have been. Because weren't those all the characters? The 4 guys. And then, it could have been Al, I guess. Yeah. Or Arnold. I always get all those names mixed up. First he was Al, then he was Arnold. But then he was... I don't know. Anyway, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. How do I end this? I don't know.